छत पे तो आप आते नहीं, लगता है मैंने चांद को देखा. मैं क्या करूँ तो तेरे को काय को रे. Welcome one and all to the new ThyGap podcast. What's up everybody? I am being Brut, your favorite host, and with me
Bogus Noob
is with me. Hi Bogus, what's up?
Wow, what to say, Brut? Quite an eventful week we've had last week.
Is it?
3 days continuous rain, non-stop.
Oh, yeah, no power.
No power. And in the last episode also, we were recording in a dark room because of that.
Yes.
Recorded on batteries,
Yes.
as we said.
In candle lights.
And it's not just that, because as you are not aware, Brut, and as our listeners are not aware as well, I've been watching myself, what I eat.
Oh.
Trying to eat only healthy stuff, cut out all junk food, processed food, cut out sugar pretty much. And, in that phase, every now and then you want to indulge, you want to have a cheat day.
Yeah.
So I figured, I'll just have one. And it's been a while since I indulged myself. So I ordered myself some chaat.
That was your cheat?
That was my cheat, yeah. I didn't want to go beyond that.
Okay.
But I just
Restricted cheat.
Yeah, just for the taste buds.
Yeah.
Some nice samosa ragada and papdi chaat, etc., etc.
Yeah. The usual suspects in chaat.
Yeah, and man, my week was just ruined. Because
of the guilt.
Not the guilt. It was so bad.
This is all those guys who say that hard work pays off.
Yeah.
Doesn't. Especially in diets, it never does.
I mean, the one day I wanted to have something tasty, I wanted to indulge myself. I order this thing, it comes in, I taste it. It's like the samosa chaat was like cardboard was soaked. Wet cardboard was soaked and there was some junk around it. There was absolutely no taste. It was so bad that as soon as I had the first spoon, I had to take a recheck and actually go out, just look outside and check, wait, am I still
in the same city?
Yeah, am I still in India or did I apply for PR or, leave the country or something that I have to eat this bullshit?
Go to like a very distant European country where they have zero understanding of Indian food.
Exactly. Or they don't have the ingredients required to make the actual taste come out. And stuff like you have to drive 2 hours somewhere where you can find something close to what you can get. And then you have to compensate the lack of taste with your nostalgia. Just eat the bland bullshit and go.
Imagine the taste.
Imagine the taste, yeah.
Imagine the taste, but you're eating whatever you want.
Yeah. And you just are accepted to having substandard Indian dishes while you're compensating with singing Meri Desh Ki Dharti in your head, like, trying to remember.
On loop. Yeah. All those chuck de. Imagine you're like chuck de. I don't want to chuck it, okay?
Exactly. And I was so pissed off. It's like, being here, how the hell do you fuck it up? Like, how do you fuck up samosa chaat?
If you're not like a chaat guy, like if you're a Chinese noodle maker and who's trying to cook like chaat, I'm sure you can't make like good chaat.
So yeah, that was my week basically. Ruined completely by a mishap, a misordered item.
Mm-hmm. Where did you get it from? Can we like reveal?
No, I mean the name is not really important. The only thing I can say is it had Delhi in the name.
Let me guess. Was this Delhi Mitai Bandar or
something?
No, like
the name
Delhi
is not important. It's something like that. It had Delhi in its name, so I was like, okay, fine, let's try it out.
Like
it has
Delhi
good
guys
ratings.
know how to do it. Like they know how to do most of the things according to them.
But this was like a Delhi guy went to Canada, in the coldest part of Canada where you don't get any ingredients.
And had like only 3 things: salt, mirchi powder,
and cardboard. Yeah, pretty much.
But I'm sorry for that, Bogus. As happy I am that, your well-weighted cheat day is ruined.
Yeah.
I'm elated. You can make it out in my voice.
There was some happiness for me also. Like the only silver lining was when we were recording in that dark room, in this room when it was dark.
Yeah.
Last week.
It almost is even now, but
that's a choice this time.
This time we're like, I think we should save electricity.
Yeah. So the only silver lining was because it was dark, I couldn't see a face.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was not all that bad,
Yeah. Yeah.
but pretty much most of it was bad.
But still, I have 2 points. I was not able to see your face too. And your cheat day got ruined. So
Yeah.
I've got more to celebrate.
Yeah, you're 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. I'm 1 ahead of you.
Touche.
So, Bogus, thanks for sharing that inconsequential story of how your cheat day got ruined. You almost shared it as if your marriage got ruined. But alas, that was not the case. So, what else is up?
What else is up? India, Sri Lanka, the ODI series wound up 2-1 again.
Yes. And
as was our score.
It's almost like soon we are going to see Shastri 11 versus Dravid 11.
Yeah.
I think that will be an exciting tour.
I was thinking along
India towards India.
I was thinking exactly. I was thinking along the same lines where
in UAE because of the pandemic, India towards India, but in Dubai.
I was just thinking that pretty soon it's going to go to a point where India 1 is going to play Australia.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, India 2 will be playing England.
Yeah.
England 3 will be playing New Zealand.
Yeah.
India 4 will play West Indies or something. So basically, at the same time, India will be playing multiple countries at once.
Yeah.
But the whole point will be which of these Indian teams have performed the best. And then there'll be a Maha Indian Cup.
Which will go to the World Cup.
Exactly.
It's a qualifier of which Indian team will actually play the World Cup.
Oh, no. Actually, it's the other way around, which is whichever Indian team, in ODI or Test or T20 made it to the World Cup, either got the cup or made it to the semifinals, etc. They qualify first for the later portions of the Maha Indian Cup.
Or the worst case scenario is India will submit 4 teams for the World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah.
And all the 4 groups will have at least one Indian team in the World Cup.
Yeah.
So the cup is coming home any which way.
Yeah.
That's for a given.
And in any which way, Pakistan is losing. Whichever team they go against.
Pakistan might get relegated. If they're playing against India 3, India C during the qualifiers.
Yeah.
There's a very good chance that Pakistan might get relegated. We will miss that whole India-Pakistan. Or Pakistan might have to play India 5 times in the World Cup.
And lose
all of them. They'll play the quarterfinals with India, then they'll play the semifinals with India, and then they'll play the finals with India, and then ultimately lose.
And I was thinking we'll also make some specialized T20 teams. So there'll be like a Desi Pani Puris that will play in BBL.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We will start doing what TCS and Infosys did.
Yeah.
Right? We'll start sending our players to all the local teams. Slowly we'll infiltrate their teams.
Yeah.
Suddenly Australia will have an Akshar Patel bowling and batting at number 6.
Yeah.
And then there is Sunil Joshi's grandson will come and play for Sri Lanka. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And if an Indian team, whichever version of an Indian team beats an international team in their ground, then they have to give us real estate, like land.
And
the players. Yeah. Give a house.
Yeah. And at least one MP seat.
Yeah.
We need one seat in your parliament, whichever country you are. We'll sort it out.
Pretty much. That's where it's going.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it's fair. They have too many. We have more internationally eligible cricket players than the whole Olympic troop.
Yeah.
Which is so sad. But that's the reality.
That's what it is.
We Indians have got into cricket like a moth to a flame.
Yeah, cricket is the engineering of sports.
Yeah. Oh fuck, that's such a smart line, Bogus. Cricket is the engineering of sports.
Pretty much in India.
Yeah. But that's about it with respect to sports.
That's about
we
it.
We won 1 medal in Olympics, silver medal. Kudos.
Kudos
but
to
Taimur's outing with his dad. Is much more important than that.
Yeah, what is little Tughlaq doing?
Yeah. Little Taimur already learned posing to the paps. That's what is more important. The silver medal and all is the gold rate is anyhow falling, so we will not go behind it.
Little Tughlaq had his Saturday breakfast today.
Yeah, by himself.
By himself.
Which is the more important thing. that is, we've covered both the sides
Oh, yeah,
of
yeah.
entertainment, right?
Yeah.
Like the film industry as well as sports.
Yeah.
So good job done, Shabba Mama Shabba. Now we'll come back to the most important thing as to why we have gathered around this artificial fire and ice
Yes.
setup,
Yes.
right? Let's paint a picture to our audience that we have used one blue light
Yep.
and then we've used one orange light
Yep.
and we are effectively blind.
Yes.
Like we
The
still can't see anything.
podcast of fire and ice.
Fire and ice. So this is what it is going to be about,
Yeah.
right? We have to give them on what we are being fire and ice.
Obviously, the main thing. The reason why we record any episode is
the socials.
the socials.
Right? Let's do that.
Yeah.
It's like prayers in the school.
Mm.
So let's go through it very quickly and let's not bore anybody. Instagram,
@ ThyGap.
follow us there.
Yep.
And you can also follow us on Twitter.
@ThyGap.
And then you can, we ourselves don't go there. Facebook is.
Which, who cares?
Yeah, ThyGap it is. I don't know. But for other people who are also tech savvy in the 90s.
More articulate.
And
thoughtful
and who have a lot of vocabulary.
Sensitive. Who touch themselves.
Who like the dark.
Yeah.
During the cold, rainy evenings.
Yeah.
They can write to us on our email, which is mindthygap@gmail.com.
Yep.
Don't make it at yahoo.com. There is no such email ID. Okay. So that's the morning prayers of our episode.
Yes.
Now to other aspects of how we fill up the next 1 hour.
Yeah, pretty much. Trivial stuff. The topic of this episode, Brut, is the art and the artist. That's what I wanted to talk to you about today.
Yeah.
And kind of pick your brains on that.
Bring it up off the bat. You want me to contribute to this?
Oh, yeah. Yes, of course.
That's the topic.
Yes.
Yeah, because I was thinking something else. But the art and the artist.
The art and the artist, bro. I wanted to pick your brains because you have such a natural tendency to play the devil's advocate and be irritating, annoying, as is your natural flavor. So I figured...
Which in other colloquial terms, people also call me as a people's person.
Oh.
The guy who lives for the crowd.
Do they?
Yeah, a lot of them. That's how the whole devil's advocate, the elitists like you, Bogus, who feel that your intelligence is much more than the common public, and your statements are the true authoritative conclusions of whatever the society has to talk about.
Right.
For those kind of sect of people or the public, I represent the normalcy. I bring you guys down with my intelligence and shrewd strategic conversation threading. Did you see that coming, Bogus? You didn't. I can see it in your eyes because you can't see me right now. Anyways.
What I saw was you
didn't see shit, Bogus.
You pretty much called the people the devil.
Yeah.
Well done.
Absolutely. We can do a whole episode of why I do that. Why I call people the devil, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me by the end of that episode.
Yeah,
or by the end of this episode. We never know. We don't know where we go with our conversations. So let's surprise ourselves. The art and the artist. #. It's not easy.
It's not easy. And that's why we do it. That's why you subscribe and follow to ThyGap. The art and the artist, bro. The whole debate.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending classic debate for all the ages.
Right.
The art and the artist. Can you separate the two?
Absolutely.
Should you separate the two?
Absolutely.
Done. The episode is done.
Yeah. Now let's talk about everything else apart from the topic that we thought about talking. But no. I think we can.
Yeah.
I genuinely think we can. To start off with, the two different spellings.
Yep. Two
That's
different
where the
words.
separation comes from.
Exactly.
They associate with two different things. The art means, a branch of degree, kind of more close to the literature part, like arts and literature.
Yes.
The artist means, movie actors or people who act. They are artists.
Or
so
writers.
Completely two different things.
Writers, composers.
Maybe.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Oh, I think
pick my brains on that.
If only you would have dropped those pearls of wisdom like 45 minutes into the episode. By then, everybody would have dropped off anyway, so it would not have hurt us as much.
No. This is making people more curious. They're like, okay, where are they really going with this? I mean, see, it's like a sinusoidal wave. We get people excited, then you kind of like lull it down,
Right.
then you get them excited again.
Right.
And you do that for 1 hour. Voila, you have a podcast episode.
Well, you have a happy woman.
Yeah.
And that's a secret to keeping your
longevity.
Yeah.
No, but let me ask you this question. The art and the artist, Bogus,
Yes.
are they different?
I mean,
Should
like
we-
you said, the word itself. Let's not go into that again.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah. Let's not go into that again.
Yeah,
But
I'm expecting something different.
the whole debate is, if there's a great piece of art,
Yeah. Huh?
undeniably great,
Mm-hmm.
you connect with it,
Yeah.
you resonate with it,
Yeah.
but then you find out the artist was, let's say, a psychopath, a serial killer,
Mm-hmm.
a pedophile,
Mm-hmm. Like a bad person.
a bad person
Yeah.
that you usually would not like to associate yourself with. What do you do in that situation? The piece of art still is something that you can't deny it is good or great.
Mm-hmm.
But then you see the artist and it repulses you, the artist or the person.
Yeah.
You are repulsed by that person. There is a school of thought where people go, no, we absolutely should not support or propagate this art anymore because of how rotten this person is.
Right.
And their line of argument is the more you propagate it, the more you support it,
Empower.
you may be driving revenue or profits to that person who absolutely does not deserve it.
Yeah.
And then there's another school of thought that says these two should be separate. So, that's where we go. And we can look at examples. For example, you have someone like Woody Allen,
Mm-hmm.
who is a famous movie director.
And actor and
Yeah.
a lot of things.
Primarily, known for his direction and writing.
Right.
And down the line, it came out that he has some weird relationship going on with his adopted stepdaughter that he's been grooming since she was a kid. And now he's married to her.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have someone like Roman Polanski,
Mm-hmm.
who is arguably like an amazing director. The films he's made, if you just look at them without knowing anything about the director himself,
Mm-hmm.
you would never disagree that these films are amazing. Like, they really are different
Right.
from the rest. And that's the reason why he won Oscars as well. But it turns out there was some case of abuse with a minor girl, so it goes into that territory. Then you have someone like Walt Disney, who was a known racist.
Mm-hmm.
And even in Disney cartoons, there have been subliminal messaging that's been infused into those cartoons from
Yeah.
a very long time. People have sort of been observing that more and more. And but then Disney again made all these animated movies. He created this entire industry.
Right.
So where do you, fall?
I am okay. So here's the thing. For me, any kind of art in itself is a connection to some kind of, say, a message or some kind of perspective. Right. Now, I'm not a big painter, or neither do I understand painting. So I can't. I mean, art again is extremely diversified. One of the examples that I look at is Michael Jackson, for example. Right. One of the best ever showmen. Right, in the contemporary entertainment industry. I don't think anybody has captured the minds or the kind of audiences he captured across the globe.
Yeah.
Even in countries which were very anti-USA.
Yeah.
He went and performed in Russia, sold out there. He went and performed in China, sold out there.
He crossed all borders.
He crossed all borders, right?
Yeah.
So with his performance, there was definitely, he created a huge impact. Probably he would have created a lot of people who aspired to, perform like him, right? And so sprouted so many. Hey, this guy is an Indian Michael Jackson. This guy is a Russian Michael
Yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah.
This guy is a South Indian Michael Jackson, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Right? He became like an adjective,
Yes.
literally. Then comes his Neverland stories, right? Like kids going in, he's spending time with them, blah blah blah. People are complaining about him, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Now Michael Jackson is dead. What stays back? What does still motivate you?
Mm.
It's ultimately what he left behind, which is art, right? Like whatever he performed, his songs, his dance moves, his compositions, his messaging, whatever is the whole gamut of things.
Mm.
So ultimately, I prize that more. I treasure that more. Yes, he might have been a bad person. Yes, he might have been. But he opened doors for people who could not perceive a certain art form beyond a certain level.
Now the question is, does that absolve, in your eyes, does that absolve him of, these allegations because of the
How will I
extent of
comment?
his...
How can I comment? I have zero facts about it. I have zero data about it. Whatever I'm getting to know about it is from those parties, right? I'm hearing it from the news. I'm hearing it. So in my head, I'm like, that is for those guys to solve. My takeaway is not about what kind of a person he was and how he abused, or if did he really abuse, he not abuse. The court has, I think he was acquitted, right? Like he was found innocent in all those 13 cases or something like that.
I don't know about that, but what I do know is he had some very powerful enemies.
Again, see, that is the business side of it. How can I mix that in the concept of art? This is where I get a little confused, and I might not have like a straightforward answer, because the moment the arts are mixed with some kind of economics or some kind of like marketing or PR and all, right? You're diluting the art, right? Like how many Mona Lisas can you create? Only one Mona Lisa. Like Da Vinci has not created too many Mona Lisas. Everything else is plagiarized version of it, right? Somebody painted it or forged it, or took a picture and printed all of them. But the work that went into it, if I have to study Da Vinci, I have to study his real art, like the original piece that he created. And it's through that piece is what I'll know about that art if I am interested. I don't want to become a person. If I want to become a person of ideal nature or whatever, as an individual, then I would go sit with Dalai Lama or whosoever, like whoever I feel is like the right guy, or I don't know, Nelson Mandela, like whosoever it is. But when the comparison is coming into, which art motivates you or which art inspires you, the person becomes secondary, right? Art is always like a manifestation of a thought. So and that individual thought, it has to be like the whole personality.
So I agree with you when you say that we don't know what the facts are. We only know what was told to us, and it came from certain sources. You can never know what the objective truth was.
Yeah.
So that part is, I agree. As a thought experiment, right? Hypothetical. Let's say all the allegations about...
They're trying to kill my father, man.
Yeah. Let's say all the allegations about MJ were true. Now, as a hypothetical, if you think all the allegations against him were true, how do you process his music now?
Still the same. What am I comparing his music to? The question here is, when I listen to Michael Jackson's music, am I comparing Michael Jackson's music with all the other good people in the world? Or am I comparing his music with all the other people who are making music? Or other music in itself?
Okay.
So if I feel the music is good and I like the music, with respect to all the other available music that I have, that's about it. This is the best music I have. And it's been done by this guy. That's about it. That's where the story ends for me. Now, if I want to make the same kind of music, that's when probably I would want to go and understand, how did he come up with this? How did he end up doing this? But if I'm not that person, if I'm a person who's just there to enjoy the music, doesn't matter who created it, what was created by, or all that whole story.
Okay, so let me expand the hypothetical scenario a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because
till to the point where I say like, yeah, you're right.
No. Because I just realized that Michael Jackson is not with us anymore.
Yes, he's
So let's
dead. Rest in peace.
let's imagine that he is alive
Yeah,
and he's still coming out with music,
yeah,
and it is as good as, Bad and Thriller and all that stuff.
yes,
Now, and let's imagine that all the allegations against him are true.
right,
Now, when he keeps coming out with music,
right.
when you go and buy that music,
Mm-hmm.
you are monetarily supporting this guy.
Right,
Like you said, the art may be different,
right,
but when you indulge in that art, you are monetarily supporting this guy.
Right.
He is benefiting.
mm-hmm.
At the same time, the same guy is benefiting who has all this darkness
Fair enough.
around him. So how do you process that?
I'll explain it with an example.
Mm.
Okay. And this is something which is doing a lot of rounds in social media today.
Mm.
Have you seen those posts where they say like go and buy from like a street vendor than like a corporate supermarket?
Yeah.
Because street vendors earning is this,
Yeah.
etc., etc.
Yeah.
Where does your morality stand when you see this message? And like, yeah, it makes sense. Street vendors, let's not bargain with them because they're they're trying to make a living.
Yeah.
Those guys are already sorted, right? Even if I don't go buy, they're not going to die
Yeah.
of hunger or whatever.
Yeah.
So the morally right thing for me to do is go to the street vendor and buy it. But why don't I do that? Because I want the best for me. So I'll go to the place where I'm getting the best thing. Doesn't matter who's running the show there, right? So it's a very subjective thing. And yes, there can be a moral angle to it. And whoever is morally obligated to this, they will take a call. They will go to that street vendor and buy his stuff, irrespective of how good or bad his stuff is. The same thing goes here. I want the best music. Doesn't matter who is making it. If there's a price that I have to pay to acquire the best music or the music that I like, then I have to go pay the price.
But is it the same though? I mean, I don't think the example correlates
It's
exactly.
paraphrasing. Take any other thing.
Because on the one side, you have this guy who, the more music you keep buying and people like you keep buying, the more money he has to keep doing the things that he's doing in his personal life.
So my question is like, is this morally, am I weighing this morally? Like on what scale am I trying to weigh this?
That's the exact question. So
yeah. Like, am I going to, sorry, you were trying to say something?
like, yeah, this is where, one school of thought, people are like, whatever it is, if you keep buying their shit, it goes directly into their coffers. It makes them rich. It gives them more leeway to continue to do all these things. So would you want to support someone who has such a dark personal life with your money? That's the question.
I mean, like, who is supposed to evaluate this?
No, obviously the decision is with the consumer.
So again, so
the question is to you.
Am I being too, I mean, if I am the guy who you're asking me this opinion to, my question back to is, are you asking me to compromise?
No, I'm asking what would be your decision in this case?
My decision is to get the best thing for me, or my decision is, or my endeavor is to get the thing that I like. If I like a RX 100, though I can afford like a Hayabusa, I would still go buy an RX 100. I don't give a shit if it is creating pollution or if it is not coming under the norms, because I can afford that. Am I wrong in buying RX 100? Is my question to you. Or the school of thought which is saying that, hey, let's not empower them with more money so they can pull off more things, etc. That is a completely different conversation according to me. That doesn't come under the umbrella of art or artist, because it is economics, it is morality, it is constitution, it is social ethics. It is coming under all those things. In a creative field, can you imply the same kind of logic is my question. My answer is I don't think I can, because creativity is intangible. It doesn't have sides. It is subjective, right? So how do you generalize creativity? You can't. It's just about 10 people like it out of 15 people, or like whatever, 90% of the people like it. In the total people who saw or experienced that creative output, that's how you say, oh, this is good creative art. I don't understand Picasso, right? For example, I see no value when people buy it for like $20 million or $30 million, like those huge price tags, right? I don't understand what is so great about it. He put an ear there and a nose here, and I don't get the message, right? The same thing with so many things. So creativity is very subjective. How can you generalize creativity?
All right. So let me give you another example here.
Hypothetical?
Yeah, hypothetical.
Okay.
So it's
Shoot.
a mix.
Okay.
So there was this German composer of Western classical
Beethoven.
music called Wagner.
Okay. Shit.
Okay, and Wagner was again known to have made some racist comments, and he was like Hitler's favorite composer. Like Wagner was not around when Hitler was there, but Hitler was heavily like a huge fan of Wagner.
Right.
And he was known to have said some racist things here and there.
Right.
Now, the hypothetical is, imagine if this guy said some very specific racist things about Indians. Okay? And he composes these pieces of music
Right.
that are almost transcendental in their beauty. Like you just feel at one with nature. You know, the music is so pure and pristine.
Right.
You can't deny that it touches your soul. So when you know that this is what the music is doing to you, but it's coming from a guy who had especially nasty things to say about Indians, hypothetically,
How will I react?
how would you process that? How would you react? Would you continue to consume that music or support that music or whatever?
It goes back into the same thing. You just replaced the scale of morality with sentimentality. You know, like you just took away the fact that, hey, you know what, he's not a pedo or he's not anybody, but he kind of, you know.
What
abused
if he
your
was a pedo?
Nay, but then it's under the morality scale, right? It's about the scale of, like, okay, am I supposed to judge this guy? Like, I don't know. Like, what am I supposed to do by, okay, I'll give him a tag saying that he's a pedo. Period. Right? I judged him. End of discussion. Does that take the credibility away from the master genius output that is brought into the world? The question is, if that is the question, the answer is no, it doesn't take away the beauty of his output. Yes, he's a bad guy. I'm not saying that, oh, just because he makes amazing music, he can't be a bad guy. There can be people like that, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes, I mean, as as unethical it is, some people need those kind of stimulus to go break the fourth wall and create something beautiful, right? They have to go isolate themselves or whatever nonsense. Like they have their own method to madness. So this is where the whole conflict is, and I think creativity can't be objectified, whereas everything else around it can be objectified, and that's why creativity suffers. You know, somebody put a racist comment, like in the example that you made. Wagner said like Indians are like, you know, downtrodden, they're dumb, or they're backward caste or whatever. Fair enough. That shows that he's illiterate about my country. But at the same time, I'm illiterate about his music. You know?
No, I mean in the hypothetical, you
the hypothetical
love the
scenario.
music.
No, I'm saying like I'm illiterate about how he makes that music. You know, I don't know how he's able to do this to me through the music. On the other side, as a person, yeah, if he comes to me like in person, if I meet Wagner in person, and if he comes and says like, do you like the music? And like, yeah, I love your music, but you're a jackass. Like you got to know what we are before it starts. So that becomes a different conversation for me, right? I'm trying to school you in as a person. I'm not trying to school you as an output, you know? So that's the whole thing, like how I look at it. You cannot mix the two. The art and the artist, like, because they create a different impact. And if you're allowing one or the other to influence you, to compromise on that experience, then you basically are killing creativity. You are questioning freedom of speech, or you're questioning everything that is an integral pillar of creativity, right? Like, so how do you justify that then?
So you mentioned just now that, you know, you cannot combine, they're two separate things.
You have to look at it at two separate entities.
But there is this aspect of commerce, which is a bridge, where if you buy their stuff, knowing what you know about them and about their art, just the fact that you're buying their stuff, you are supporting them with your wallet, right?
Not necessarily. I'm paying what I feel is deserved for that piece of art or that commodity.
Yeah, but you know that when you buy it, it goes to his pockets.
And how can I stop that? So you are saying I have to boycott that?
No, I'm not saying anything.
So
I'm
I
just
should
saying
not buy that?
that's one of the schools of thought.
And then do what about it? What's the next step after I don't buy it? I'm basically, what do you say that? I'm not getting myself to experience what is the best thing in the world,
So yeah,
plausibly.
the answer to that question is
And then I suffer FOMO because everybody else around me is buying and I can't get to hear it or I can't get to experience it. So what am I going to do next?
majority of the people are actually outraging them, so you won't feel FOMO. It's like you're not outraging about this at all. Like you're just like, what is in it for me?
Yeah, I mean, like, come on, like.
No, I get it.
The simple thing is, let's be objective about it, right? My simple thing is, you appreciate a certain output. You appreciate an output for an output, right? If the conversation comes, or if you are responsible to take a call on a bad person, forget about what he does. He's a bad person.
But I want to answer your previous question, which was
Did I ask a question?
yes, which was what am I doing by not?
Oh yeah.
You know,
What? Okay, then what? I don't buy it. Okay, fine. I get it.
so what happens when you don't buy it is the art dies, because if people decide to boycott it, right?
Yeah,
The art dies. The artist doesn't get to earn monetarily,
right.
does not get to earn in terms of legacy or reputation. So basically, they will be deleted from the history books, pretty much.
Very difficult. It won't happen. It can't happen.
I agree.
You're talking about a very ideal scenario.
This is the thought process
Yeah,
behind.
which is stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid though.
Yeah.
You need to understand the gravity of this, okay? For once, let me give you a hypothetical scenario now. For once, let us just not get into the personality of the individual. Let us just see what he has done or she has done, okay? They have come out with something the world has never seen before or experienced before, or the world thought, that's impossible, right? Now, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
That means there's a whole different level people can start playing the game at, right?
Yeah.
Because as a mankind or as a race, we've just neutralized a tougher level of art.
A new standard has been set.
Standard has been set, and
Yeah.
that becomes the norm.
Yeah.
Right? Now you have to go beyond that.
Yeah.
And just have to sit and wait for somebody to go beyond that. So basically,
For people to break a record, it has to be made in the first place.
exactly, right? So basically, you have identified or discovered a new endeavor
Yeah.
for everybody within that space,
Yeah.
which is a huge contribution
Yes.
in itself.
Yes.
That's one aspect of it. Now, it doesn't matter, right? He just set path for generations that are supposed to come, right? For something to aim at or to go beyond something. Now, let's bring in that individual's personality, how he was or how that person is, what kind of immoral acts they have been participating, etc.
Oh, you're saying so? Mention that.
No, now we get to know about all that.
Okay.
Okay, now after this whole hoopla,
Right.
now obviously people are interested, so they started digging deep into the individual to pick his brains,
Right.
which is something that we should not.
Right.
Technically, again, from my standpoint, if there's a great comic, it's a good joke, let it be a good joke. Don't try to go in too much into the joke, you'll kill the joke. That's the kind of philosophy.
I think our standpoint on this is pretty clear. If anyone is interested, season 1. No, you're laughing, but it's true. It's not a shameless plug. Season 1, we did an episode called Role Models, where the background behind what Brut just said in one sentence like that, we actually recorded a whole hour, because that's what it goes down into. And Role Models season 1, that's all I'm going to say. Listen to that.
Yeah.
Continue.
So now we started picking this guy's brains and we realized, oh, you know what? His creativity comes from a very cruel place. Oh my God, I can't be associated with such cruelty. Blah, blah, blah. You didn't before and just you can't even now. You don't have to even now. You just have to appreciate what he has come up with.
Yeah.
With respect to all the things that you've discovered, there is a system which is going to take care of that. There is a system. They can, if the system is genuine enough, right? Which is another whole big debate, right?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is the system doing about it?
Yeah.
If the system is genuine enough, whatever you pay, right, or whatever revenue that it's being generated will not go to that guy. It's a simple thing. Freeze it.
That's
Don't stop him. Take away his reward.
that's where I landed on this,
Yeah, and
which is
if it comes to that point,
yeah.
but again, even that is a very ideal scenario. It won't happen so easy. There will be too many people protecting him who might be supporting him. And like, yeah, you know what? We get it.
No,
we
I mean,
get how difficult it is to like come up with something like this. So you know what? We'll protect you. Don't worry.
it's going to be tough to support someone when like it comes out as a fact that they did some horrible things to people.
I'm
gonna
being
be
very
very tough.
realistic here, and
Yeah.
I might come across as a dick here.
Mhm.
The reality is, facts don't last. Facts are as variable as anything else.
It's the perceptions.
It's the perceptions, right? Yeah, I mean, see, we have such polarized perceptions about it. If somebody who's really creative, right, and who's cuckoo in his head, and who might not be really talented, he will go out beating his chest saying that, no, he's right. Like, why do you care about what he has done inside his house, inside his bedroom? Who the hell are you to go into his bedroom and see what's happening? It was between two people. Let those two people sort it out.
A similar example to this is Roman Polanski, that director that I mentioned. He won an Oscar. By the time the Oscar was declared, he actually fled the US because he didn't want to go to prison. So when they called out his name, he was not there to accept his award. Everyone knew that. But even then, he had very strong supporters like Meryl Streep, the world famous actress. The Oscar machine, yeah, practically conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Stamping Oscar after Oscar. She stood up, standing ovation. Oprah Winfrey stood up, standing ovation. All these people to this day, they continue to vocally support the guy, and they continue to eat shit in the public's eye because of that. Public keeps giving them shit, but these guys keep supporting.
See, the other problem that I have, one of the points that I said is I don't know the facts.
Yeah.
In the whole Michael Jackson case, I don't know the facts. I don't know what he has.
Exactly.
So the other problem is a lot of people, especially the public, gets influenced way too fast.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody has the patience to dig. Nobody has the patience to like sit back and kind of like connect the dots or anything. They just want to go like, so-and-so channel has said it. Must be true. That's why he fled, or blah blah blah. And then like, yeah, that guy has to be killed. That's it. Like, boom.
Won't even read the article. Just the headline.
Yeah, the headline is
that's
enough.
It. Yeah.
Like Roman Polanski, who is that?
Polanski. Yeah.
Roman Polanski has just left the country. Why is he feeling guilty deep in his heart? Enough for today.
That's it.
They're trying to kill my father, bitch.
Yeah.
And that's it. People are like, kill this guy. So. We can't, which is why I'm saying the moment we speak about the artist, especially not with respect to how he came up with the art, but more with respect to all the other things apart from the art, it becomes, it catches like wildfire. How many of people figured out or practiced how I don't know, who Wagner, right? How Wagner came up with those musical notes.
Yeah.
The percentage of people who would have actually got their hands dirty to compose or try to compose or do whatever, minimal, right?
Yeah.
Like very less in percentage. But then the percentage of people who would have supported or took it to heart that he is Hitler's favorite musician, how dare he?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's also like anti-Jew. I'm sure he might have killed at least 10 people thanks to Hitler. And make up assumptions and whatever, and then basically, Wagner is a dickhead, dude. Like, that guy, it's good he died.
There are some direct quotes from the guy that are slightly...
Racist?
Yeah.
Who is not racist, Bogus? See...
No, again, if you go there...
No, I mean, I have to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you are asking me to compare apples to oranges. If you are asking me to judge a person by his morality, then I have to compare that with everybody else's morality. But because I'm doing the same thing with his art, I'm taking his music and comparing with everybody else who has done music. That's how I figured out that, this guy's music is great, right?
I was kind of hoping that this episode you would play the devil's advocate. You would represent the common man on the street.
Isn't this the common...
Absolutely not. You're representing me.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I think Wagner should be hanged, man.
He's already dead.
Wagner's comments were uncalled for and as a responsible...
Another example, actually, it's this whole the founding fathers of USA, who wrote, Constitution, like man should be free,
no slavery
and all that. While they had
while killing,
they had like 100 slaves in the house,
And also, in the interim, like
going and one is folding bed sheet, one is brushing his teeth. It's like while doing that, he's writing that man should be free. So it's so weird. But where I stand also is pretty much same like you said, which is the artist ultimately.
I think this is why we need to do prep.
No, I mean, there's no point having a fake.
No, it's not. Also. But we could have avoided this whole conversation.
No,
the whole topic would have been like, let's do it when we have a guest who goes against us.
That would be nice, but it'll become a debate for debate's sake, which is what the news channels do.
Yeah.
It's a waste
but
of
I'm
time.
surprised. We rarely actually, agree.
No, I mean in role models, in season 1 role models episode.
Role models, we didn't agree.
We kind of agreed.
No, I said like we should. You said there shouldn't be role models.
Yeah,
I'm not wrong. I said like we should. Why not?
My take on this age-old debate is also the same thing, which is ultimately the artist is just a medium.
Yeah.
All artists are just channels.
Yeah.
You can't say where they're getting their inspiration from,
Yeah.
and you can't say what qualifications they had.
They might be the one who's taking for the team.
Yeah. And you can't even say like a person has to be this sort of like a good guy to be qualified to get the idea, inspired. You can't say it could be the worst guy in the world.
Yeah, I think this is like a typical Bollywood mentality, right?
Yeah.
Like good things are done by heroes.
Yeah.
Villains will always kill, irrespective of how many amazing discoveries they do.
Exactly.
How much of money they earn. They are bad guys. They shouldn't be painting Picassos. They shouldn't be doing Mona Lisas or inventing helicopters. Heroes are the one who has to do it. And what is hero doing? He's chasing the villain on a cycle super fast.
And that's why
saving the damsel.
Like the individual or the person always has to be removed out of the equation, because ultimately all individuals are flawed. But whatever creativity or whatever inspiration they're channeling through them, it's not something they're creating. They just happen to be channeling it through some other source.
Yeah.
And so if it is coming from somewhere else, these people are just the channels. Why should we give that much of a damn about what kind of people these people are? And are we going to support this art or not? But then again, when it comes to the point of monetary support, right?
Yeah.
There, it gives me a little pause.
But
and
before you go there, I also want to add another thing about how their personalities are, right? I think we are also responsible for them to become what they have. I'll tell you how.
The society, you mean?
Yeah.
As
general,
a whole.
Yeah, the public. The expectation that we set up on them, the pressure that we put them under, the kind of thin rope that they keep walking on is all because of us.
I mean, it may be a stretch to say in case of people who are...
them.
No, it may be kind of a stretch to say in case of people who are like rapists or pedos.
No, I'm not justifying their act.
No,
but I'm saying we might be pushing them to that corner because we don't know what kind of pressure. I mean, nobody would have experienced.
No, I mean, that may be true in some cases, but in case of people who harm other people.
My own point is how that pressure manifests is a completely different point. Like for Sachin, he might go bite his nails at max, but he's doing that because there are a billion people chanting his name and expecting him to score runs in the middle of the ground, blah, blah, blah. Then there is another kind of pressure, right? Like a guy like Michael Jackson who just wants to be seen every single second, day and night, right? And we are not understanding that he's just one person. The expectation from the public is we want him in front of us all the time. Like a Shah Rukh Khan, we want him in front of us all the time. So the little time that they get, which they spend with themselves, we don't know what kind of nonsense is going on in their head, right?
True.
So imagine you treat superstars like, I don't know, it's a bad comparison, but like your work hours. Like I'll only want my superstar to work from like 9 to 10, 9, 8 to 5.
Mm.
I want to have I want him to work like 9 to 5 job. I don't want him doing press meets. I don't want him doing this public appearances nonsense, right? I just want to see him do a shift where he's doing his work and that's about it. Rest all time is his family time, blah, 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 right? Imagine they have that kind of a schedule. Maybe it will not push them to those dark places because they have everything else at disposal, right? They have the money, they have the resources, they have big villas, or they can...
I see what you're saying, but in the example that you spoke about, the dark places will go more towards self-harm, like drug abuse or depression or...
What follows drug abuse?
No, it's not like you start taking drugs it's not like you start injecting heroin, you won't start to rape people.
Yeah, but heroin is opening up your pores.
No.
Right? Your deep desires.
No.
The Freud and, thinking.
There's no correlation between this and that.
No, but
my point
it's
was...
not like as dire, but
Yeah.
I'm sure there is some amount of, impact of this.
I don't know. I mean, in some cases it's true again, but in some cases it's not.
Some is fine.
Okay. But my whole point about the monetary support was there it gave me pause because I could see logic in what people are saying. Like, how can you continue to give this guy money? Because you give him more resources, he's more free to keep abusing other people like he's been doing. And I see sense in that. So when you said you freeze their assets, you try to ensure that they don't get the money for their art. That is kind of the conclusion that even I landed on. Like, whatever he's earning, right? It's very easy. It's not that hard. You just create a trust.
Yeah.
And that trust, you can channel it to different...
put a middleman.
Yeah.
Like you have private companies or banks, which can basically say, boss, your limit is $10,000 per month. No matter how much of money is accumulating in your account, all you will, and this is a government mandate, by the way. It's not me who's saying it.
Government mandate.
There's a Supreme Court till you get, whatever cases are being there.
Right.
The moment you hit the case, and I think this should be a general policy. Even politicians or whosoever are there, everybody should this should be like, it's a brilliant idea, Bogus. This is what has to be propagated. Whatever. Any guy who is not falling under the typical taxable income class, right, who's supremely rich, if there is any form of, basically if there's any court case on them, their banks, the court has to send a mandate to their bank saying that till this we give you a clearance, he can't have what he has.
Exactly.
He can't. You freeze the bloody shit.
Yeah.
Give him basic amenities like for his food, rent, etc.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, that's about it. He can't lavishly keep going and spending. If his friends are taking him, we can't stop it. But he can't organize shit.
Yeah.
And most often they're not, their friends are not as rich as him.
Yeah, and if it's like an artist who comes out to be like a rapist or a pedo or something, throw him in jail, and all his money or whatever his earnings are.
The point is you're innocent till proven guilty.
No, I'm saying if they were proven guilty.
If they're proven guilty, you have to put them in jail. I don't understand this concept of bail. The court has figured out...
No, there have been some artists in history who are so popular that these crimes sort of get swept under the carpet just because of their popularity, their charisma.
Which is why I'm saying what we are talking about is a very ideal scenario. You're talking about a clean system. You're talking about clean governance.
It doesn't really need the whole governance to be clean to pull off just the freezing of assets, right?
If you're friends with the father of the nation, it's enough. You need one friend to get you out of the deepest legal trouble. Correct? I mean, is 8,000 crores or frauding the public of 10,000 crores not a good enough crime for you to take immediate action, put him in jail? Then again, it's the same thing, right?
That's a good enough crime for some Chinese torture, actually. Some old-fashioned drip.
So where will you... Again, it all becomes very grey, right? At what point will you say only one rape, he was drunk, he was not even sane, he was drug abused, or he was, whatever. But 5 rapes, that's a very serious thing. He molested a girl. That's fine. She's still alive. He didn't kill her or something. Or same thing. So you don't know. You just don't know where to draw the line. So the simple thing, executable thing, according to me, is take away the resource which can actually, give him a free hand. It's as simple as that. Money gives him power, take back the money. Not like disown him of the money, but control the flow of money. That's all I'm asking.
Or funnel it off to some other charitable organizations or something.
Doesn't make sense because it can give birth to so many other things. Let the money the reason why I'm saying freeze it, because it's such exorbitant amount of money, right? It can sprout other criminal minds.
Yeah.
So therefore you freeze it, you keep it where it is, right? Let it be inaccessible, so that at least you're not creating more devils to deal with. So you keep it with the same person, but you control how much, like pocket money. Give him pocket money.
Do roti,
like egg
Kapda.
sabzi, egg kapda, whatever.
Got it.
Make him feel that his house is a jail. That's a fantastic idea. Again.
House arrest.
Not just house arrest. Like he should go back to his house and feel like, fuck, I'm so poor.
Oh yeah.
Nothing to do.
So I guess that's where we land on. Like,
Yep.
the art and the artist have to be
No
separated.
devil's advocates presence today.
Have to be separated. You have to treat the art
That's
for
what we
what
think.
it is. That is what we think.
Yeah.
If you guys think different, of course, mindthygap@gmail.com. If you don't have as much to say, then you have our socials. You can send us a
Just
short
like-
DM
Yeah.
and let us know whether you've been offended or you're outraging by whatever our take is. And then we'll see where it goes. But at the end of this episode, you'll also have, once again, a reiteration of our socials just to remind you, and also where to get in touch with us.
Yeah.
This is a contentious topic. It's a debate that has never died down. So if there is nobody that has anything to say about it, then that really reflects on you guys. It's like,
Like always, guys, we put the ball in your court.
yes.
This is ThyGap Podcast,
Subscribe
and share.
and share. Hey, thanks for listening. You can follow this podcast on Spotify to get notified of new episodes every Thursday. We're also on Apple Podcasts for those of you who have partaken in the forbidden fruit. If you liked what you heard, leave us a 5-star rating and a comment. Say anything like the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. A rating and a comment really helps us out. It's free, and I'm told that's a great price. But enough about us, huh? Tell us about yourself. Leave us a comment. Our Twitter is @ThyGap, and we are _ThyGap on Instagram.